Video game collaborations have been more common during these past few years. Not only is it a great way to re-engage the existing player base, it is also a good opportunity to acquire a number of new players with a high affinity to the collaborating brand. And Tower Fantasy is no stranger to this. In the CN version, they collaborated with Linkage, a Chinese post-apocalyptic animated series that started airing back in 2019, including a special episode which was released in 2021. This collaboration brought in two new characters in the game, namely MARC and BAIYUEKUI. BAIYUEKUI was released on February 26, 2022, and her banner lasted for 18 days. She was then followed by MARC, whose banner also lasted for the same amount of time. BAIYUEKUI was an excellent damage dealer for vault compositions, boasting a high 12.5 rating for Shatter. MARC, on the other hand, is a really strong defense-oriented physical unit who works well with other physical characters like Lyra. And even outside of their best teams, these two characters are more than capable of beating endgame content. So we just can't help but wonder if we will also get a chance to try them out in the global version. In order for us to know if we even have a chance in getting them, the first thing we can do is to understand how video game collaborations work. After doing a little bit of research about this topic, I came across a thread from 2 years ago which can give us an insight on how collaborations are processed. This was from a user on Reddit named Coolio Gaming, saying, "I used to work for Netmarble and was part of the process of working out collaborations. The team brainstorms, putting together different types of media that could work before finalizing our top picks. Those are then sent up the ladder for approval. Those that are approved are messaged by our marketing team. If the companies approve of the collaboration, dates are set. Terms are agreed upon, and the development team begins on working on assets and gameplay features. Marketing, social media, video teams, and community managers begin planning phases for the eventual launch of the collaboration. Now that we have an idea on how collabs come to fruition, we also need to know why collabs happen. On paper, collaboration events are simply just an elaborate ad campaign promoting a piece of media. So for a collab to happen, the piece of media needs to be somewhat relevant or much anticipated by consumers outside of the game. Take for example, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross and their collaboration with Stranger Things. This happened back in April of 2021, which was also around the same time when the Stranger Things Season 4 trailer was released. The hype for the show's new season was building up, so it was the perfect time to have this event. Some of the fans from the show will try out the game because of the characters that they are familiar with, and a few % of the old players from 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross will think about watching the show because it became part of the game. Now bringing this back to Tower Fantasy. Their collaboration with Linkage made a lot of sense at the time because the series just had a special episode released. But as of making this video, there has been no announcements about the Linkage sequel in the foreseeable future, so I personally don't think it's likely for us to get this event as well. There are just too many factors to determine if we will get these two characters or not, such as the terms that they agreed upon between Tower Fantasy and the company behind Linkage. We don't know if this collaboration was limited to the CN version, or did Hata Studios acquire the full freedom of using the Linkage assets even outside of the CN version. If you want a definite answer, right now I'm leaning more towards being not able to get MARC and BAIYUEKUI on global. There are just too many factors that go into it, and most of the things that we know points towards the event only being exclusive to CN. If worst comes to worst, hopefully Tower Fantasy can find a new piece of media to have a collaboration with that will bring us similar characters if not better. So if you have any ideas that make for a great collaboration in Tower Fantasy, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching until the end of this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.